Well, now we're outside here with the hydrangeas. Just a little bit ago, we were pruning back the rose bushes, but Dave Fleming of Greenleaf Landscapes here now to show us about the hydrangeas.
Well, Henry, I might have to prune my way to you. As you can see, this hydrangea bloomed very nice this year. This is what we call, it's not quite little, but this is little lime hydrangea. Its parent plant would get twice the size of this, and it's probably the most frequently asked question over the years on TAP, you know, how far and how much do I prune my hydrangea? Now on these type of hydrangeas, the limelight, they bloom on new and old wood. And we're getting to the point in the industry that most hydrangeas that are produced now, you'll be able to prune that way. Back in the day, if you pruned on some of the micro hydrangeas, you prune them to the ground every winter, they bloom on second year wood. Well, and then people want to know why they didn't bloom. Well, the newer varieties now, which there's hundreds of them, you don't have to worry about that anymore. But these, just like the roses, I'm going to get in here, you can really cut them back hard.
Yeah, you're going all the way back there.
And I'm going to hello. So,
all the way back in there.
And once we get back to this point, and it's, of course, you better have a nice sharp pair of pruners. I'm getting closer to you, Henry.
Yep, you're getting all the way across the hydrangea.
So, but we're going to get a close-up in here, and I'm going to show you how far back. But I do want to show you, if we can zoom in here, you can see my cut has been on an angle here, which is important. But you also want to make sure, I don't know if you can see this node and this node, you want to make sure you cut just above a node. Okay. If you cut in between a node, this little piece in between here will eventually, you'll have a dead spot. So if you cut right above the node on an angle, that will rejuvenate and make a nice reflush next spring.
And the angles I've been seeing you cut as more around the ballpark of 45 degrees. You don't want anything perpendicular.
Correct. Now, when we get back in here, you might need these, and you're going to see there's a pretty hefty cut there, okay? And I really want to almost do the same thing like I did to the rose, is I want to get down, you know, you can see these loppers are about 2 feet. I want to get down and be above the ground about 2 feet to 30 inches. You're not going to hurt it by cutting it back that far. So, so like I said before, these can take heavy pruning. Now's a good time of year to do that, and you'll have a nice bushy plant next year. This is typical. The flowers are very heavy, and we get some of those storms late in the summer, fall. It causes them to stretch. That's nothing unusual. And you can also see this is against the building. These flowers are going this way. They have stretched this way, and that's because of the sunlight. So if this building wasn't here, it'd be more uniform and bushy all the way around. But the plant is growing towards the light and doing much better on the flowers on that side.
Yeah, everything, like you said, just make sure you are cutting at the node, not in between the node, and then at an angle. Correct.
And once you get, we'll call the fluff back, then you can get in there and make some hard cuts down into the base of the plant. And you can see what I've done here. That's a lot thicker than the outer stems that we have with the flowers on them. So.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Dave, for these helpful tips. And again, there's still a lot more that we are going to be talking about as we get closer and closer to the holidays, as always.
Yeah, we'll have turkey first, and then we're going to have jingle bells next.
Well, thank you so much, Dave, for coming in this morning. Can't wait to see you again, hopefully soon, but we'll have more on Daybreak right after the break.